Well, it's finally here, everybody. The marathon reveal has occurred. We finally get to see what Bungie is coming up with next after Destiny 2 and what we can kind of expect out of the gameplay, see what we're going to be expecting. We know it's going to be a full price title, probably about $40 for the start of the game. However, I do want to touch on something to say that I definitely am excited for Marathon. It looks really different, really unique. It does look like it'll be fun. I've seen some of the animations being used from Destiny over to Marathon and everything like that. And I have even signed up to get the alpha access if I can. However, this is going to serve as a video to say that Marathon better not have the thing that made me genuinely lose my mind in the last couple of weeks with Destiny. And that is the balancing of Marathon better be top notch. Some of you may be asking, what are you talking about? Some of you may be a bit confused. Some of you may not even be PvP players, and that's fair because I myself do not enjoy PvP in Destiny 2. I think it is garbage. I think they just don't care about it anymore because they can't get it right, and they've kind of given that off as a bit of an accepted topic whenever they've talked about it in WIDs and things like that. What happened in the last couple of weeks is very simple. I saw that there was a new shader called Banner's Bearer. That shader looked really good. It was like a gold and brown leather kind of shader with some silver in there, here and there, and it really kind of caught my eye. So I was like, yeah, sure, I want to get that. I haven't played Iron Banner in a while. I don't like PvP, but it shouldn't take me too long to go ahead and grind through it. Mind you, at a couple of weeks ago, I had already ground through the first prestige of Iron Banner. So, already had the first set of rewards done, already on the path to get the shader at the end of the second one. I kid you not. It took me 6.5 hours to get to rank 16. And this is with, mind you, wearing the full set of Iron Banner armor, wearing an Iron Banner emblem, and going through and just playing the playlist. However, where the balancing gets ridiculous for me, and the secondary part of any type of progression and reputation on the actual vendor being garbage, like just a hot dumpster fire. I would probably have more progression and experience on a path like that going and fighting a classroom of kindergartners. Like there's so many issues that I have with it. The fact that just on the reputation part it took 6.5 hours is beyond wild to me. But the main catalyst of why it took 6.5 fucking hours to complete is the fact that when I go into the playlist, and I'll include some clips here, it is just steamroll after steamroll after steamroll after steamroll, and then you get little to nothing for reputation. I think there was one match or something like that where, to get to 16, they want hundreds of thousands of reputation out of you in the playlist. I got 227 from a loss. And I think I got even less from a different loss. I think I got like 177.
You're a guardian. What's defeat?
I'm never gonna get this shit
Dust
done.
off and fight again.
77? And then whenever the majority of my record for that week was losses, I kid you not, I played probably almost 50 games and I won barely 10 to 12 of them. I lost the other 40 something. I cannot tell you how much I was crashing out, how annoyed I was that everyone was using the same fucking weapons because they're too meta and they're too powerful, the same classes, everyone's just running Titan with fucking Peregrine Greaves and all sorts of other bullshit, and then not to mention the amount of cheaters. I have never seen the amount of fucking cheaters in PvP until that round of Iron Banner. I kid you not, I kept track of each one. I ran into 7. And some of you may be asking, how do you know they were cheating? Well, number one, while being on Javelin 4, I got cloud striked from B flag while I'm over leaving C flag, and there's no clear line of sight. And everyone else in the game also ended up agreeing with me because he started doing the same thing to everyone else in the match. Then the other cheaters that are just beyond crazy, there was the one that just flew through the map with whatever weapon he had in his hands, just deleting everybody. But then the rest of them are just, you load in and within seconds, like at most 7 to 8 seconds, every single flag is insta-capped. The game has just started and you're getting insta-capped by the enemy team that shouldn't be anywhere near your flag, and you're just losing points. They're already up 40 points within the first minute of the game because someone on their team can just push a button and insta-cap every flag. The fact that this is allowed to run rampant in Destiny 2, not only from a balancing perspective, and I understand that a lot of the PvP people got moved to Marathon because it is going to be a PvP focused game, and maybe that's Bungie's play, right? Maybe their play is to completely move the PvPers over to Marathon and interest them in a different area, or at least the hardcore people, but I don't think that's going to work. And number two, it's going to stay that way. It's not like Marathon's going to come out and then they're not going to keep that team dedicated to that and balancing that rather than Destiny 2. But if they're going to make it to where they're not going to put as much effort into PvP and balancing it and making it fair and fun for people, then I should not be expected to get that much reputation for something as simple as a fucking shader or an emblem. It has literally blown my mind into wild proportion that we are still in a position where I loaded into that category for 6.5 hours straight to constantly get a couple hundred reputation, and it took all that time just for me to get a shader there. I don't understand how that's okay, and I cannot stress enough. If Marathon has that in terms of progression for a battle pass or anything like that, or their version of it, which I think would be kind of weird for an extraction shooter anyway, unless they plan for, cosmetics to be a thing, but then you can't have the cosmetics be too egregious for the class system that they have. I don't know. But either way, Marathon better not have this, because I genuinely went on a crash out. I posted on Blue Sky, I posted on Twitter, I posted everywhere that I could post just to thrash Bungie in terms of being, sitting here and saying, you guys have revolutionized PvP games over and over and over and over again. You guys have revolutionized a genre over and over and over again, and you might do that with Marathon. That's going to be your reputation, is that you extraction shooters are not hot, they're not what everyone's looking for, but then you do one so well that people come to it. But god fucking damn it, you have lost your sauce somewhere. I don't understand how you can go from Halo, creating a game with a PvP so renowned even to this day and competitive, to this garbage in Destiny 2, where every game is a steamroll from one person or another. And then someone like me, who's not even a PvP player, just wants a shader. It's just a shader that I want to get. I had to spend all of that time losing. Whether it was legitimately to try-hard players, whether it was to cheaters, I lost. The truth of the matter is, I didn't have fun. I lost almost every game. But then when I win games, I'm getting thousands of reputation. Why is it so why is there such a disparagement between the two? Why is there such a gap? Like, and I know that some people are going to be like, oh, well, you got to get the challenge done, your challenges done, and then you'll get more of the experience, or you'll get more of the reputation. I know that. It still took 6.5 hours. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. All of those are just playing with a specific class and, completing matches. So I definitely got those done, where I was getting a 13 times boost. But guess what? It still took all that time, because the losses are so neutered that even with the 13 times boost, you're not even getting as much as a win, or how much a win would have been earlier on in the run. So that's where I just can't stand this like mentality of I'm just gonna have to sit here and literally whip myself over and over again while playing Iron Banner just to get to this point. So again, I'm excited for Marathon. It looks cool, but I swear to fuck, if this is where the PvP team has been, it better be one of the best damn PvP experiences I've had in a while. Because Destiny 2 ain't it. And the reputation system in D2 honestly ain't it. And I know some people may take it as like, you just someone grinding or complaining about the grinding again and yada yada yada. Because I know there was that whole ordeal of like people complaining about grinding to get the god roll that they want, and then that caused weapon crafting, and then we had to backpedal on weapon crafting because people said it took away the grind. And like, that's the whole point. We want to get to a middle point where the grinding feels rewarding still, without it feeling tedious and ridiculous, which is what these vendor grinds are. These vendor grinds are tedious, ridiculous, and just overall a waste of time most of the time. If I don't even say if they cut the vendor reputation requirement in like half to get to 16. I think if they just really toned it down, maybe toned it down by like 20%, I think it'd be fine. Because like with like Xur or Rahul or something like that, their reputation goes flying just for decrypting certain engrams and buying stuff from Xur. Give me a reputation for buying shit from Zavala. Give me a reputation for decoding engrams and stuff with Saladin. Give me that same kind of reward for coming to the vendor and saying, hey, I want more things from you. Give me a bit extra. Because then I won't have to sit here for 6 hours. That probably could have cut 2 hours off of my grind for Iron Banner. You still would have gotten 4.5 hours of playtime from me on those days. But golly, I cannot justify 6.5 hours for something as simple as a shader. And in such a shit game mode with unbalanced guns, unbalanced abilities, and the people who play Destiny as if it is their fucking life goal, and they think they're going to get somewhere from being a Destiny 2 PvP player. I am sorry to burst anyone's bubble. You can look at any single account or, super popular content creator that focused on Destiny 2 PvP. Number one, they don't have as many subscribers as every other Destiny creator does that does just regular shit or fun little challenges. There have even been multiple Destiny 2 PvP content creators that have left because of how bad PvP is. You guys cannot win in an argument with me here that PvP is good for Destiny in any capacity. Sorry, I am set in stone that my opinion is that Destiny, I don't know if it's the devs, I don't know if it's Bungie, I don't know if it's the, Parsons with his CEO bullshit and new cars. They don't know how to do PvP anymore for Destiny. And I'm hoping they relearn how to do it and show us that they still have that drive and that creativity in Marathon. But I had to make this video. The crash out was just too insane. And this is really kind of one of the first videos where I am just going to shit on this game. But again, I'm excited for what's next. Hopefully I'll see you guys either in the alpha test or in the actual game Marathon whenever it comes out later in September. If you guys have stayed throughout the entire video, thank you, of course, for hearing me rant and ramble. And of course, with everything I've talked about, with me playing the game and being completely stuck in grinding the game and everything, I always stream on Twitch for every day except for Thursdays and Sundays. Sometimes I take a little bit extra breaks here and there, but for that, I will leave you guys with that. If you want to come say hi, I would appreciate it. We're on our way to 1,000 followers over on Twitch, but other than that, enjoy your week. Hopefully I won't have any other kind of crash out like this anytime soon. And then we're going to continue the Mafia marathon, giving you guys those little highlights from those streams. And then, of course, we'll just provide some other stuff coming up. There should be a Deadlocked video and something else on the horizons. So I will see you guys then. Later.